the 21 concept came about because, remember what I told you before, Eastern and Western Hemisphere? Mm-hmm. Okay. So 21 was necessary for a child to petition for a parent, or even a sibling for that matter. So that's what happened in that case. And now we're going to seek to ask for adjustment of status before the director, not in court, but because the person is seeking admission to the United States at this time and is now entitled to become a permanent resident because of an approved petition by a U.S. citizen daughter, adult daughter. Right, so let's go back to the Western Hemisphere. No numerical limitation for any of the countries. So, but there was an overall number that they would allow. And I'll just use this for purposes of discussion, 200,000 people from the Western Hemisphere. Now, years ago, in the early 50s, 60s, 70s, what happened, and this goes back to this birthright citizenship that Trump is trying to challenge now. In the early 1900s, there was a Supreme Court case that said if you were born in the United States, under the Constitution, you acquire U.S. citizenship. So, what many of the Mexicans used to do, but this would include anybody who was in the Western Hemisphere, would run across the border, give birth to their child, and then go back to their home country. But since they have a citizen child, they can file what they call a visa for permanent residence to come back to the United States, in which the chronological waiting time at that time, because there were so many people doing it, and they only allow 200,000 per year, there's a 2-year, 2.5-year waiting period. So that's what they would do. They'd run across, give birth, go back to their home country, wait 2 years, get a visa to come to the United States as a permanent resident. It's because of the birth of their child in the United States. So that caused a lot of problems, and what you had was the lottery system set up by the Department of State. I don't know if you know about that, but every year they select people from a lottery to offset the fact that Mexico took the biggest number of individuals in this program and unfairly took the largest number of immigrant visas. So to offset that discriminatory impact, they developed, Department of State developed a lottery system, which doesn't cost anything. You just put in your name, the country, your date of birth, your contact information. If they select you out of the lottery that year, whatever year that they're selecting the lottery for, you're put on a list to get your permanent resident status through an embassy. So that Western Hemisphere thing created a lot of problems for the Department of State, which they tried to correct with this lottery system. Now there's no more of that. It's every country a numerical limit, East and West, doesn't matter. That's the short history. It goes back to exclusion, deportation, now known as removal. So if you see a paper case, or if you see that the person's in exclusion, come talk to Greg about it. Yeah.